Everybody, it is raining up a storm here. Oof. We're in Lake City, Florida right now, and we're going to be doing IFR flight. Jacksonville Center is on right now, so I am filling out what I think is going to be the right routes. Let's take a look. Be leaving Lake City right here, and then following it down to the Gainesville VOR, and then from that VOR to the Ocala VOR, and then following that radial out on this Victor 441, so on 208 radial. And then at some point we'll pick up the ILS for runway 9 at Brooksville-Tampa Regional. And yeah, we're flying Slant Alpha, which means radio navigation only, no GPS waypoints, and should throw a controller for a loop. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. So first we've got to connect our client. So we are connected, and we're going to send our flight plan to him. And we are also going to get a pen and paper. So let's get into the aircraft. Jacksonville Center, November 5522 Lima.
5522 Lima, Jacksonville Center, go ahead.
We'd like to pick up our IFR clearance to Brookville Regional. We're at Lake City, Florida right now. And we sent in our flight plan.
You're sitting outside my house. Number 5522 Lima, clear to the Brooksville Airport as filed. Maintain 3000, expect 15,000, 1 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 135.92, squawk 6205, hold for release.
Cleared as filed, 3000, and expect 150,000, 135.925, and squawk 6205, and hold for release for Piper Comanche 5522 Lima.
5522 Lima, reback is correct. The wind at Lake City 0407, the altimeter is 3006. And call number 1 for departure at Lake City, frequency change approved.
So he said we are filed as approved. How great is that? So we'll load up some stuff in the radio here, and let's certainly get the engines running. We do at least that. So get our beacon light on. Got our fuel pumps on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can hit that, and then we are killing the mixture here, and then we're going to add the mixture, the fuel cutoff, because we don't want to just dump fuel into an engine in case it catches on fire. So waiting for it to catch. There it catches. Then over here. All right. Lake City traffic. This is Twin Piper 5522 Lima, taxiing to runway 10 via Charlie and Alpha, Lake City. And we're holding short here, and we're going to just hit the brakes real quick and step outside real quick. And confirm, yep, we're on runway 10. We're on the runway we think. Kind of just double check with center. Jacksonville Center, this is November 5522 Lima at Lake City, holding short runway 10.
Number 5522 Lima, enter controlled airspace heading 180, release for departure. If not off by 1500 Zulu, advise this frequency no later than 1555 Zulu, release for departure, frequency change approved.
Release for departure and heading 180 for 22 Lima. All right, so this is great. This is the stuff they live for, right? So we're now been given what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to fly south, and it gave us our release here. So yep. Lake City traffic. This is Twin Piper 5522 Lima, taking runway 10 for a southbound departure, Lake City. All right, so. Alright, we're in line, got a landing and strobe lights on. Almost forgot our flaps. And, alright, we are ready to take off, adding throttle. Maintaining center line here. Airspeed is alive, and she's ready to go, so positive rate, gear up. Jacksonville Center, this is November 5522 Lima, 2500 for 3000, heading 180.
5522 Lima ident.
22 Lima identity.
And November 5921 Charlie, you're actually outside of my airspace there. I only control flight level 230 and above right there, so you can monitor Unicom 122.8.
Roger, over to Unicom 122.8. We'll probably end up calling you soon. See ya.
Well, 5522 Lima radar contact 3 miles south of the Lake City Airport, 2,700. Clear direct Gainesville, calling maintain 15,000.
Clear direct Gainesville, and can we amend that altitude? We are an unpressurized aircraft.
Sure, would you like?
Let's do 11,000.
Climb maintain 11,000.
Climb maintain 11,000 for and direct Gainesville for 22 Lima. All right, so we are starting to almost break out of some clouds.
Sunwing 631. Hello, Fado 350 inbound on Heavy.
And so what I'm doing
631 Jacksonville Center,
is
squawk 1036.
I told them that we're an unpressurized aircraft, which means that I'll pass out if I go up to 15,000. But we can do 11,000. And also, we are headed directly to Gainesville. So that means that I am just looking at this gauge down here and just going directly to it.
Number 5522 Lima, contact Jacksonville approach 127.0, see you soon.
Over to Jacksonville approach for 22 Lima. Oh boy, okay. Jacksonville approach is November 5522 Lima, 3600 for 11,000.
November 5522 Lima, Jacksonville approach. Good morning. The Gainesville altimeter 3005.
3005 for 22 Lima. Alright, so we got 24 miles to the Gainesville VOR, and we are on course, and we are slowly going up. And so after we leave Gainesville, we want to leave on a 179 radial, so we'll get that dialed in when it's time. But yeah, let's just keep doing what we're doing here. Well, looks like we're just about starting to break out of the clouds here. There we go. Life above the clouds here. Alright, 10.5. And we're leveling off at 11,000. So it looks like we're just going to be in the clouds. Just the edge. Alright, so I'm watching this countdown here. And we want to leave on a 179 radial. So it's a little bumpy, so keeping that altitude's a little tricky.
November 22 Lima, in contact Jacksonville Center 135.2. Have a good day.
Over to Jacksonville Center. Thanks so much for the service. 22 Lima.
Squawk 7725 for Osprey 259 Papa.
And Jacksonville Center, this is November 5522 Lima, 11,000.
5522 Lima, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Just trying to maintain control here. All hand flying. 11,000 feet is what we're supposed to be staying at. So we're going to be coming in and out of some clouds here. And we're going to be leaving the Jacksonville VOR any second, so I can't trust the
Osprey
needles.
259 Papa, radar contact about 40 miles north of the St. Pete VOR, flight level 200, calling maintain flight level 320.
So as we fly over the VOR, it gets really sensitive, and we watch that flag go from to to from, and now that we've flown over it and getting away from it, now we can start tracking that radial out as best we can. And you can see we're pretty close to it. So right now we are 3 miles away from the VOR, and at 15 miles we're going to switch over to the Ocala VOR and start tracking that radial. And again, I'm hand flying all of this. I'm not using any autopilot. I'm using the yoke and communicating and doing the IFR flight plan and following it here. It's a real challenge. Of course, talking to a live human, we've had to switch frequencies.
JetBlue 268
switch
radar
back.
contact about 120 southeast
Lots of
of the
fun
Grand
stuff.
Strand VOR, flight level 340.
To the Ocala VOR, we're tracking 175 So when we switch over, we'll have to adjust that. And that noise you're hearing, that's somebody who's communicating via text. They can't communicate via radio for many reasons. One, maybe they have a speech issue, headphone setup issue, maybe they're in a shared space, nerves, you know, there could be lots of different reasons. So that person's communicating via text, which sometimes the controllers do also to kind of alert you to things. So you kind of have to pay attention, but it's not usually for you. Usually on the sim you'll get a pop-up window in the sim itself when it's a message directed directly to you, but I'm still checking back and forth. I'm also trying to keep my altitude under control, so we're 200 above and we need to be at 11,000. So I'm bringing that back down, and also trying to pay attention to what I need to do, right? So, yeah.
Center American 2965, we're back.
Roger.
So people do step away from the sim. They sometimes do extremely long flights, sometimes 9 hours, 10 hours. You know, potty breaks and whatnot. All right, so we're on a good heading here. Let's go ahead and put our heading bugs. We know this is where we need to stay, and let's go ahead and flip over to the Ocala VOR. And that one was 175 is what we need to track on that. So 175, and if you want to listen to it, O, C, F. So we've already identified it with the it being on the radio there, but so now we're following that to the Ocala VOR, and from the Ocala VOR then we're going off on a 208 radial, and of course we're still in contact, but let's go ahead and brief the ILS. He's probably going to give us vectors here. Let's see if can I show you real quick. I think I can. So he's probably going to give us vectors to intercept here and then come in on the 9-4 for ILS 9. Yep, starting to get a little hazy, but that's fine. We're in a little bit of rain. I have to be careful of icing conditions, but it's 3 degrees Celsius here, so we are above freezing, but we have no anti-ice in this aircraft, so we're just going to have to watch it. And this aircraft does simulate icing, so if we keep an eye out on the wing, you can see this ice up.
For 5522 Lima, pilot's discretion, descend and maintain 5,000. The Gainesville altimeter is 3004.
3004, descend to 5,000 on discretion for 22 Lima. Alright, 3004, and that's pretty much what we got here. So, a couple of things happening here all at once. He wants us to descend down to 5,000 feet, and I am doing that. I'm trying to maintain the heading that I've got here because we're going to be flying over the VOR, which means it's going to getting confused. So we're going to see it go from 2 to front. I've already got it dialed into 208, which is what I want to leave the VOR radial at. So we're watching it get confused there, right? You see it bounce back and forth, to, from, it doesn't know what to do. And so we're just kind of maintaining this heading here. And we are starting our descent here.
For 5522 Lima, contact Jacksonville approach 127.0, see ya.
Jacksonville approach for 22 Lima. See ya. Alright. Back into that. So let's go ahead and Jacksonville approach. Jacksonville approach, this is November 5522 Lima at 9,500 for 5,000.
November 5522 Lima, Jacksonville approach, good morning. The Ocala altimeter, 3003.
3003 for 22 Lima. Alright, so we're getting battered around pretty good here, but that's okay. And we also know there to switch us back right to center, so 135925. Alright, so let's make a request. Jacksonville approach for 5522 Lima.
November 5522 Lima, go ahead.
Can we request 3000? It's real bumpy here at 5.
November 22 Lima, send and maintain 3000.
Send and maintain 3000 for 22 Lima. All right, so you needed something? You asked for it, right? So I want 3000. And it's just way too bumpy here to kind of control. Oh, this is so much easier to maintain. So there's my alert letting me know 3,200 feet, and I wanted 3,000. And you can see, we can even see some of the ground. So we're right below the clouds.
November 22 Lima, Lima airspace to the south. The Tampa Tracon is offline. The radar search is terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good day.
Frequency change approved over to Unicom. Thanks so much for the service for 22 Lima. All right, so we are actually doing our own thing here. That's fine. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to maintain this heading here. And we can see on the map, KBKV, right, 30 miles out, and we're still trying to just maintain this. All right. Let's go ahead and make our call. Brooksville-Tampa Airport, this is November 5522 Lima, about 10 miles to the northeast. We'll be joining the ILS runway 9, full stop. Brooksville-Tampa. Okay, so we've made our call. We're just going to maintain this heading here, and we're going to switch over the nav radio and dial that OBS into runway 9, and we're going to listen for it also. So right now we don't hear it, but we're just going to be following this radio until we do hear it. And yeah, we're going to bring ourselves down to 2,000 feet, and the reason is that'll get us out of those clouds, and also we should then be able to intercept that that ILS signal. Well, we picked up the identifier there, so we know we're listening to the right thing. There is the airport right over there. And Brooksville-Tampa traffic, this is November 5522 Lima on final for runway 9. Full stop, Brooksville-Tampa. And I can see the glide slope coming in here, so watching these bars here, and once I get them centered, then I just follow that all the way down. So let's put some flaps in. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and get our speed under control here. And so now we're coming down with it. Yeah, we got a little bit of crosswind, which we knew, right? So that's pretty much straight down. That's pretty good. 276 is, you could ride this down if you couldn't see anything, all the way down to 276 feet. So, of course, we can see everything. We're just slightly off center, and we're going to fix that. And a little high, we're going to fix that. Brooksville-Tampa traffic, this is Twin Piper 5522 Lima on short final for runway 9. Full stop, Brooksville-Tampa. Alright, so my eyes are now basically outside the window. I'm not looking at anything anymore because we've got the runway in sight. We've passed minimums, we're doing just fine. And so here we come in. And I'm now reducing my RPM and flaring. I'm just trying to hold it off. Okay, now we can go ahead and shut off our avionics and kill all of our lights except for our beacon and kill the mixture. There goes the engines, turn our mags off, turn our battery and alternator off. And okay, so we can see from our flight path here, right, we left Lake City and very crappy weather, and then somewhere around here was probably the Gainesville VOR, and then we picked up the Ocala VOR, well, right here, obviously, and then we went off on the 208 radial, and you can see the weather was pretty much terrible the whole time, and then just like I said, we came down, got the ILS signal, and then boom, right into Brooksville, and also all the different controllers have logged off, but originally, you know, we were inside controlled airspace, well, pretty much the whole time, right? Yeah, except for this is like where the break off is. Yeah, you can actually see it, right? So right here is, and it kind of goes like that or something like that, and then down here is all Miami airspace, so that's why we weren't controlled at that last bit. Great flight. Great flight. Hand fluid the whole time. I had a couple of issues. The weather, it was bumpy, right? One engine started to fail on me, but I fixed that. I don't know if that's actually in this video or not, but I got it all under control and pretty damn good landing. You know, people will pay attention to that number, but the feet per minute number, but that doesn't matter as much as landing where you're supposed to, when you're supposed to, and flaring correctly. You know, it's hard to judge things in the sim. So getting that feet per minute, you know, people could float down the whole runway and then get a very low feet per minute. That's a terrible landing. So getting it where you're supposed to really matters, and I was happy with all of that. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care.